Hello whiskey lovers, welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. I was just nosing this brand new Mackmyra. This is the Mackmyra Vintersol, and Vintersol is Swedish for the winter's sun, which is something they don't see very often, I presume, in Sweden. And now that the days are cooling, summer is clearly behind us. It's autumn, it gets dark early, it stays dark until very late in the morning. So you need this type of whiskey to warm up your day, don't you? And that's what they have released now. They've released this whiskey on the 4th of October, which is actually today. This new Mackmyra Vintersol, or Winter's Sun. What's so special about this is that it's another seasonal whiskey. We've had a few before. This is the newest one. The Vintersol is actually the sweet Mackmyra whiskey, but finished for no less than 16 months on port casks. These port casks were taken from the Quinta Do Vallado, which is one of the oldest port producers in Portugal. It was actually founded in 1716, so a very old port producer, and they got some casks, put on their whiskey for 16 long months, and then they bottled it, as they are wont to do at Mackmyra, at 46.1% ABV. So like I said, 46.1% port casks. I've got this copper hue, but it's got a pink note in there, obviously from the port casks. You have noticed that I had poured it before, and that's because I felt, when I tried it for the first time, I felt it needed a little bit of air to breathe. So now it's been in my glass for about 5 minutes already, and it has had the opportunity to breathe somewhat. So let's find out if this Mackmyra Vintersol is any good on the nose. It immediately reminds me of late autumn. I get a lot of wood, but also mulled wine with black grapes. I get some mineral notes like pebbles and some wet rocks in the sauna. Well, Swedish after all, there you have it. I get some cherry pith, but also chocolate with praline filling, and it becomes quite spicy. I get some cloves. Not piquant, but spicy. Cloves and warming spices. But it's quite refined and elegant, actually. I get some ginger and aniseed, some vanilla and pepper. But the port is in the lead here. Without dominating, but it's not overpowering the Swedish malt, but it's clearly there with some red fruit. This is actually a very good, very pleasant nose on the palate then. It's quite creamy. Again, the port is in the lead, but there's a lot of wood in there now, and a lot of spices. The spices are much more outspoken, so much so that in fact the fruitiness suffers a bit. The fruit is not as prominent as it was on the nose. It's all about the spices now. It's less sweet than expected, but nevertheless it's or maybe it's less sweet than I hoped for. Or maybe that's in my head, because I'm thinking port must be sweet, must be all about red fruit. Here it's all about spices, warming spices, some cloves, ginger. Good, but less fruity than I thought it would be. Nevertheless, quite nice on the finish then. Quite a long finish, actually. It lingers nicely. The fruit returns a bit in the finish, which I think is a good thing. It's more... the spices are there. There they are. The spices kick in as well. At the death, it's again about cloves, pepper, but it's good. And there's clearly a note of wood in there, some burnt wood or caramelized wood. But it's very nice. It's entertaining, and it remains quite elegant, actually. This is good. This is a whiskey that I think is very well composed, considering that they are bringing this under the name Vintersol. This is a whiskey that will do very well in late autumn or even early winter. This is the kind of dram that will keep you warm during those long evenings where it gets dark very early. Just what you need. This Mackmyra Vintersol. I quite like it, and I think it is available for around €60, something like that. It's well worth seeking out, in my opinion. This one will go under the Christmas tree, and during Christmas Eve I think this will be the one to go with my dessert. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, the Mackmyra Vintersol at 46.1% ABV. A Christmassy whiskey, in my opinion. And I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you.